Before we get started, please go over to Amazon.com and grab a copy of my book, Education and Justice. If you have an African-American son in public school, you need this book because I teach you the many ways that public schools mistreat African-American boys and what you can do to help your son. So go over there and get your copy immediately. All right, so the burning question in this video is whether MAGA can make Trump president for life. We know they want to do it. I'm getting ready to show you a story, an article that absolutely confirms they want him to be president for life. But the question is, can they make that happen? So let's go to the article that I'm referring to. It's in Axios online magazine, I guess you could call it. And as you see here, House GOP measure would let Trump seek third term. Now that violates the 22nd Amendment of the United States Constitution. So right off the bat, this would require an amendment to the Constitution. So then the question becomes, what does the Constitution say? Well, we need to look to the 22nd Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, Section 1, and it's really just one sentence that addresses this issue directly. It says, no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. Point blank. Whether it's consecutive or whether it's non-consecutive. Mr. Trump has been elected twice. He has been elected twice. Therefore, it is unconstitutional for him to be president a third time. Let me say it again. It is unconstitutional for him to become president a third time, unless the country amends the Constitution. All right, so let's read some of this article. A House Republican on Thursday introduced a proposed change to the Constitution that would allow President Trump to seek a third term in office. Why it matters? The amendment has virtually no chance of becoming ratified, but it is a marker of the depths of fealty the new president enjoys within the House GOP. Republican House members have rushed to introduce bills that would codify Trump's vision for expanding the U.S. borders by acquiring Greenland and the Panama Canal, for instance. The measure is an extreme long shot. It would need a 2/3 vote in both chambers of Congress and be ratified by 38 states to be added to the Constitution. Right? 2/3 votes from Congress and 3/4 of the states. That is a tall order, and it virtually, like the article says, it cannot be done under the present circumstances because the Republican Party, the GOP, does not control enough states, nor does it control enough of Congress. 38 states are not GOP states. Okay, so it's just, again, as the article says, it just shows that these folks are really, really, really committed and dedicated, sycophantic, you could say, for Trump. But it is something we need to keep our eyes on. Driving the news, the person behind this is Representative Andy Ogles. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but he is a GOP member from Tennessee. He said Thursday he's introducing a 2-page joint resolution to amend the 22nd Amendment, which sets the current 2-term limit for presidents. Ogles' amendment would allow any president to serve a third term if their first 2 terms were not consecutive. Well, Trump's were not consecutive. The text of the amendment would still prohibit a third term if the first 2 were consecutive, prohibiting former President Bush, Obama, and Clinton from running again, or a third term for anyone who has served more than 2 years of someone else's term. Hello, everyone. I got great news. The merch is finally here. We've been waiting and waiting, but we can finally begin branding our channel. But we need your help to get our brand out there. If you like what we provide and like what you see, please go to the channel and grab your hoodie, your t-shirt, your mug, and we got more designs and products on the way. Just visit our YouTube channel at the Defiant Lawyers Network. Also, we will donate a portion of each dollar you spend on our merch towards some nonprofit. And remember, as always, stay woke. What they're saying, it is imperative that we provide President Trump with every resource necessary to correct the disastrous course set by the Biden administration, Ogles said in a statement. First of all, that is just malarkey. The Biden administration is handing or did hand Trump an economy that is doing very well. All right, inflation is down, unemployment is down. I mean, all the markers, the GDP is up. All the markers are in good shape. So they are floating this ideal, as Trump did in his inauguration speech, that the United States is in a horrible position. That is not true. The country is doing fine. Always could do better, right? Always could do better. But it's not horrible as they're trying to say, or disastrous, this guy says. He is dedicated to restoring the republic and saving our country, and we as legislators and as states must do everything in our power to support him. Ogles is a member of the Trump-aligned House Freedom Caucus who introduced legislation to allow him to negotiate a purchase of Greenland. All right, so the other side, what are the Democrats saying? Ogles also faced a potential House Ethics Committee investigation for his campaign finances as one House Democrat who sits on the committee that considers constitutional amendments noted. So the Democrats are obviously opposed to this, and they're bringing out the fact that Mr. Ogles is facing an investigation. All right. So this is not going anywhere, but the fact that they even put that out there is enough to be concerning. And I think what is even more concerning is the fact that Trump himself floated the ideal of terminating the United States Constitution. I want to show you what he said. All right, so this was back, I believe, right after the 2020 election. All right, so let's go back and look at what he actually said. This was a CNN article, and here's what he actually said. It's in quotations. Do you throw the presidential election results of 2020 out and declare the rightful winner? Or do you have a new election? A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the United States Constitution, close quote. Trump wrote in a post on the social network Truth Social and accused big tech of working closely with Democrats. Man, have things changed. He goes on to say, our great founders did not want and would not condone false and fraudulent elections. Wow. Mr. Trump had his day in court. In fact, in multiple courts, not just court, but multiple courts. And all, I believe, except one of them, found that there was no election fraud that would have caused Trump to win the election. All right. But here we see that he believes as far as terminating the Constitution, that is not beyond him. So I bring this up because that may be something that MAGA pushes him to do. So just because it can't be done constitutionally, given the numbers that we have now in the Congress and the states, it doesn't mean that they won't try terminating the United States Constitution. And oh, by the way, there is SCOTUS always lurking in the background. And we know that there are 6 very conservative members of that 9-member court, and they have shown their willingness to do what is necessary to help Trump, MAGA, and the GOP. So SCOTUS could also reinterpret the 22nd Amendment, allowing Trump to run a 3rd time. That is where we are. And just, if you will, imagine not just 4 more years of Trump, but 8 more years of Trump. 8. That probably would be my lifetime. I'm 62 years old. I would be 70 by the time he left office. 70, 71 years old. I don't know. I'm hoping to live beyond 71, 72, but I don't know. But I'm more concerned with my children and my posterity, my descendants. I am really concerned about the life that they would be able to live under a Trump MAGA regime. That deeply concerns me. It's part of the reason why I make these videos. It's not me. I could just go off into the sunset and live a good life. But I love my people. I love my family. And yes, I love this country. Although this country has not shown love for us. But no, I cannot imagine an 8-year term, 2 more terms with Trump and MAGA. And here we are just within the first few days of his 2nd administration, and he has unleashed a lot of anti-Black executive orders. So imagine 8 more years of this chaos, of this anti-Blackness. All right, now before I get out of here, as you saw in that commercial, our merch has dropped. This is bars. Let me see if I can show you. This says on the bottom, Black America Reading Strongly. This is a program that we put together to help African American boys especially begin to read at grade level. We put it together, we implemented it this summer, but we're in the process of revamping it so it can be a year-round program. And I am very, very, very excited about bars. So as the commercial said, please go to the channel and get your merchandise so that we can brand this around the country. All right? And we do appreciate all of your support. All right, so I am Reverend and Civil Rights Attorney Augustus Corbett. Thank you for watching this video. And remember and never forget, no matter what they say, stay woke.